Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, change makers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What's up, guys? I'm Emily.
And I'm Lisa. And Michelle, she's not with us today. She's in her corporate job, dearly missed. But we are, the three of us, the Conscious Collaboration. And we're very excited today, even though we're missing dear Michelle, that we have with us one of my dear friends and mentors, Steve Kodad of the Feng Shui Cure. And I think this is going to be a really fun conversation, guys. Welcome in, Steve.
Thank you, Lisa. Good to see you too, Emily.
Yes,
Steve.
I think what's really cool is that we're all together in this podcast today, and I talk to each of you about each other incessantly. So you must feel that you know each other a little bit better than what you do. And I see that we share a lot of commonalities, and one of those commonalities, I think, is our sense of curiosity and play and youthfulness. And it's important for us all, as we recognize maintaining our energy in a way to sustain our busy lifestyles, that we keep certain components in check, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit today about our secrets to keeping that vitality and that chi flowing. But first, Steve, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about your introduction into Feng Shui and what brings you into what keeps you so attracted into the idea of maintaining a good source and maintenance of your own personal energy?
Okay. Well, I found Feng Shui in a very practical way with respect to a job that I was doing. I was a realtor. And with respect to the other thing, which is, I guess, really what I'd like to talk about staying young and all that kind of stuff. I've always been involved from junior high school on with sports and stuff like that, and have always enjoyed that kind of activity. And I can't even imagine totally let myself go. But to me, it's a lifestyle that I totally embrace. I've been at this for over 50 years, where I've been working out, and so I love going to the gym. Not as much as I used to, there used to be a time where I would get out there and go for 90 minutes to 120 minutes and not think anything of it. Now I'm just lucky if I can do 30 minutes, but still enjoy it. I still like the way of how it makes me feel. And I incorporate walking all the time too. I try to do a couple of miles at least every day. And, before we came on, Lisa and I were talking about the sun. To me, that's a really important aspect of things. I need to have that, especially in the morning. So my first walk actually has a lot to do with taking my dog out. And so if you haven't got yourself a rescue, go ahead and get one, because they're really good for your health. And Sadie gets me out there every day, and we go to different parks. And so I really enjoy that aspect of it. So I try to switch it up. I try to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. And again, only like for 30 to 40 minutes. But, and I've changed an awful lot of what I do. Emily can talk a lot about this kind of stuff, of course, too. But I don't use bars much anymore. I use mostly dumbbells and cables and those kind of things. And those things have kept me somewhat strong and hopefully kept some of the body weight off too. I found out a long time ago that was a really important aspect of weight training, is that the more you had muscle on your body, the more it kept some other things under control. And
ding, ding, ding.
I like donuts just as much as y'all, so.
I love it, Steve. I love that you are really focusing on this, especially now. I think we talked about this before, but I have a saying, and strength training is healthcare. And so are all these things that you're talking about, the sunlight and the being outside in nature and just walking. And I often find that, you'll see people these days and they have medication lists that are pages long, and, they're seeing the doctor once a week or more, and they've just got all kinds of things going on. And it's like, if we would just take the time to get back to those basics, building a fundamentally strong body and touching nature and moving your body in a healthy way, whether it's for 30 minutes or 120, it doesn't matter. I think that we would see a lot healthier population into later years.
Oh yeah, definitely. When we get out, let's face it, we see an awful lot more people that are having more difficulty moving and having difficulty being active. And, it just really is very worrisome. And I worry about my child, and I worry about my grandchildren. I want to make sure that they're staying active. And I can't tell you, Emily, that they do that. My grandchildren are like a lot of kids nowadays. They're really on with technology and with respect to playing around with games and stuff on a computer. And I really wish, that they were more active. And I'm always trying to get my son to get them out there, take them to a park. Let's get them moving. Because when I grew up, we were always out in the field or at a basketball court or whatever, and that's the way we grew up. And we didn't have technology, you might say, to take it away from us. And so, there's some good about it and there's some bad about technology.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing the best thing that you can, which is model that lifestyle for them, because, a lot of people are far from doing that.
Yeah. I try to model it, but, my son and his family live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we haven't seen, let's see, the last time we have seen them all was probably 3 years ago. The COVID thing and all that, and it certainly closed us down a little bit.
Yeah.
Hoping to get together sometime soon, but I just don't get to see them much. And,
Yeah, one thing I was thinking when you were just and sharing your experience, Steve, too, and the idea of technology and that bringing us indoors, and some of what, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but some of what I think is appealing to you in that you're taking more of these walk outdoors is a component of nature and being in the light versus for you driving to your gym. And now, Emily, in your case with your studio environment, you do a lot to bring in the elements of nature indoors, which I think is, maybe that's something more gyms and facilities should be taking into consideration. Is that more, and as we're learning more about biobiology, bringing the outdoors indoors, biophilic design, so on and so forth, that does a lot to our psyche. And helps us to filter in that natural light that can keep you more focused and determined.
Yes, literally brings life into the place.
Yeah. I see a lot of places, a lot of offices and stuff that have incorporated having more windows than the norm. And I just think that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And, it's hard to do that with an existing structure. I do understand that. But when you have it, take advantage of it. Really will make the clients feel so much more comfortable and excited. And, it's just a great way to bring a lot more energy into a place. So, yeah.
Yeah. A little phrase I mentioned before we started recording, something that we talk about in the merge sort of fascia-based philosophy that I work with is that we, being humans, are just complicated houseplants. Our cells actually prefer light as energy, as an energy source, even more so than food or water, just like plants. So if we were to start behaving that way, as if light were as important as it is, I think we could see a lot of positive health and mental health changes as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's cool how it connects to, light's so important in your Feng Shui concepts as well.
Yeah, one of the things that Lisa and I talk about a lot is that one research thing about the offices in the interior and the exterior. You want to talk about that, Lisa, a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Was that the study, the Danish study of the working environments and the productivity within?
Yeah.
There's so many different studies out there, and I think it's becoming more and more alarming, especially now as we're trying to cram in more and more buildings, more and more corporate buildings, and some more populated spaces. They're even talking about, which is really horrifying to a lot of practitioners in the feng shui industry. It's terrifying us that they're even creating buildings without windows to make more spaces for more cubicles, for more dorms. I would die.
Yeah. This particular study compared people who had an interior office to people who had windows, and it was a gigantic difference between productivity, happiness, health, including cancer. Just a big thing. And I like to bring up that there's several companies in Germany that actually make it a part of the thing that they are allowed, if they have an interior office, they're allowed to get up every hour and walk by windows and sort of reconnect, because so these people in the interior quite often are out a lot more, and they're just not doing as well. So there's a lot of studies that back that up.
Well, that's the key word too, reconnect. We are mammals. We are intended to touch nature and be connected to the earth every day,
Yeah. A lot of us don't reconnect with the earth much. I understand that you like to sometimes walk barefoot, and I understand why. It really, again, there's an awful lot of information out there that says how important that is for a human being to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's really interesting to me that you do that, Emma. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like plugging in our battery, recharging our battery.
Yeah. I know we probably, I can't quote the science behind it, but Emily, you shared some documentaries with me around the idea of earthing. And I know there's nothing, I don't believe there's anything set in stone of any studies that I've seen, but it's believed to help us heal ourselves better.
There are studies, particularly, I believe, pertaining to diabetic wounds. And they showed much faster, and those are really, really hard to heal. And they've shown like dramatically increased healing in diabetic wounds with earthing practice. Yep.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about the importance of maintaining our energy, our chi, our life force energy, for our mindset, for our bodies, let's talk about that business component, right? So as we were coming into this discussion, we were talking about those times when we just don't have that enthusiasm and creativity to bring into our projects. And that can be very depleting, right? So as we're talking about maintaining our youthfulness, what's the first thing you think about when you think of children? Play and creativity. So one of the biggest, I think, indicators of slipping into that aging feeling is losing that joy, that enthusiasm and creativity and play. And I know that's big for the both of you as well too.
Yes.
What are some ways that you are able to, as you were talking about, rekindle, reconnect in with that energy? Bringing it to your business.
Okay.
I know, Steve, I stumped you a little bit, but you and I were talking about those times when, we're working on a project, getting out a campaign for the school.
Right.
And, we can both like sit over the computer for hours and, nothing is generated. It's almost,
Well, there's a lot of stuff generated, but I'm not sure how good it is.
Maybe bottles of wine being open.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't started that yet. But, um, well, one of the things that, that I talk about all the time is a morning habit. And to me, that's one place that we probably should be encouraging kids to start. They start their day. A lot of people start their day really poorly,
Yeah.
rushing all over the place. They haven't even planned their day, and in some cases, to me, which sort of drives me crazy a little bit, always has with anybody that I've ever worked with or worked for me. And so planning is a real important thing. And so to me, being stressed out right away in the morning is a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always tried to lay out what the heck I was going to wear the next day. Why not? Why do I want to rush around trying to do that? And so to me, planning your morning is very, very pivotal. I think it's pivotal for all of us. But I think it's a very good habit for children to come up with, that they understand that coming up with good habits is really going to then have a lot of productivity for the rest of the day. A lot of kids are just reactive, and I don't think that's the way to live. So I think you really need to sort of plan it as much as you can.
So,
and Lisa, you were saying, some things went haywire a little bit today, and that is the way life is.
Yeah.
And but when you plan it out, you have a few less moments like that, and I think you get more done. So.
Yeah, I think that the more I mature through life, I'm learning it just needs to be a balance. I find, I hear what you're saying about creating that structure, and having that structure allows for more of that like joy sometimes because you have a framework already. But then in like my case, sometimes I can also go too extreme and budget out my whole entire day almost like in 45-minute segments.
Yeah.
And that's too much. And then when things aren't going to plan, it feels more personally attacking.
Yeah. Well, I think you need to plan even down moments during the day. You probably don't eat lunch sometimes, on a regular schedule. That's not good for you either. And we talk about energy. Let's face it, what you eat in the morning and what you eat during the day have an awful lot to do with that. And a lot of us do substitute the wrong stuff sometimes. I always have the same thing every morning. So, whether that's good or bad, but I try to get a lot of my protein into my body at that point. So, I think, again, you want to make sure that your schedule is not so crazy that, you're not going to have a few moments where you can at least, connect with your loved ones or whatever.
Yeah, I love the idea of a morning routine that keeps you not rushing, because that was set the tone, that sort of fight or flight tone for the entire day. And I've definitely been implementing that for a few years now. And I love the idea of trying to get my daughter, maybe into her own little, some modified version of it, a little breathing routine or whatever she would want to do, a little meditation or something. I think that's a great idea. And I do think it's important to plan and be flexible at the same time, so that if when the inevitable unexpected thing does happen, you're not completely thrown off guard because you're so rigid about
right.
But I also think you hit on an important point with planning in your downtime or your workout time. Because that's something I definitely noticed with people. If you kind of, you should work out and you speak it aloud, okay, but you're probably not so likely to get it done, right? But if you put it in your planner and you say, I'm going to XYZ location, I'm going to do this workout at 1 p.m., you're good to go.
Yeah, that's like the first thing to go, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people on their schedule, the first thing that goes, I don't really want to go anyway.
I tell people to schedule it like a work shift, like to yourself.
It's so easy. I mean, I know both of you regularly work out and you schedule it that way, but if you don't do it, it's so easy to say, nah, I just don't feel like, or it might rain today.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever.
They say the hardest part is getting there, and then once you're
Well,
there.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Now, my son, who's a policeman in Charlotte, I used to have him really on a schedule, and he really was very proud of himself, proud of his body. And now, let's face it, he's now got a dad's bod, and and he's like 44 now. And I have been at him now for the last 4 or 5 months to get into a routine, and he has signed up for several gyms and then quit right away. And he has a fair amount of downtime, but he always keeps taking extra projects or whatever. So, basically probably to try to put it off.
Well, when we start to sort of view it as a luxury, something we do in our spare time, it's easy to fall off the wagon.
Yeah, it's part of your lifestyle. It has to be.
You got to find a routine that you like.
Yeah.
Make it sustainable. You know what I mean? Something that don't feel like death after doing it every day.
Oh boy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, Steve, one of the things I love the most about what we do together in creating the Feng Shui School is making it a lifestyle habit. Like we're discussing right now with the health, we even use the word intrinsic. It's intrinsically a part of us. And I feel like that's one thing that when something is intrinsically a part of us and we're enthusiastic about it, it exudes and inspires others. And Emily, when you were talking about your daughter, and we bring our girls to work out with us sometimes when they're out of school. So sometimes I bring both kids to the gym, and sometimes Emily, brings hers as well. They start to mimic us. So I can see that, if we don't make it let's not wake up the kids and do our morning routines, but incorporate them into it. I know every time I get those fitness bands out, Emily, or the kettlebell, when you give me homework assignments, it goes immediately to kids.
Good.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't.
Good.
I get extra credit for that.
Do your homework.
Doing it. Yeah. But it's not something I say, hey kids, I want you to work out right now. But they see me doing it, they see me enjoying it. And that's something that inspires them to do it on their own. So as we were talking about that, the idea and that talking about that elusive fountain of youth, it really stems from inner enthusiasm and enjoyment and appreciation for what you're doing. But it's a self-cultivating enthusiasm, right? Because it's something that's making you a better person. Yeah, I really love bringing you guys together in this chat because you have so much in common and we have similar conversations in our side, just on offsets. But I think this would be a great topic for us too, to take inside of the Conscious Collaboration Collective and learn a little bit more about what others are doing in these areas. We talked about that idea of revolution, shaking things up, whether that be in our small family units, in our businesses, but that ingredient, that missing ingredient, really is having that alignment that we talk about so often.
And shaking things up, I think, with your body and your health too, like. We talk about the idea of how stagnation, brings you down. So you could take that idea of revolution even just into your own body.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There've been a lot of studies, of course, about. I'm a terrible dancer, but there's a lot of studies that say that that really can be very, very, very helpful to you to make you feel good and all that kind of stuff. I know Benjamin is really into dancing, and I think that's fantastic. And
hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to moonwalk, and I just keep tripping over chords and stuff. But I think it's really cool. that people just have to do whatever makes them happy, whether it's something like that or skip rope or whatever turns you on. But you got to move your body, or it's just going to decay on you, and it then affects your brain too.
Yeah, as within, so without.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
So Steve and I are the two people, or two of the people that you interact with the most. Who's the angel on your shoulder, and who's the devil?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what, Steve, do you know what your astrological sign is? Are you a Gemini also?
I am.
Are you?
You're both my Geminis, so you switch.
Oh, so you have on each shoulder an angel and a devil.
Basically. I mean, there's like a party on my shoulder sometimes.
Depends on which one of us shows up. Steve, when's your birthday?
My birthday is May 22nd.
Oh, okay. Mine's the 27th.
Is that right? It's funny. My mother's was the 19th, and my grandmother's was the 23rd, and I'm the 22nd. So, I could easily remember them. I couldn't remember my father's, but
my brother's on the same day, 3 years apart.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Yeah.
I'm surrounded by Geminis, and you're both really good. You're both really good influences on me. Yes, I am so blessed by this party of Geminis. But yeah, both of you are really good influences and agitators of my energy. But there's no stagnation going on, and so I think that's important too. And always bringing a different perspective. So I think that's what's really cool is when you're surrounding yourself with people that are going to challenge you as well as inspire you, or maybe they're the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of like yes people all the time, even though, it's nice to have your cheerleaders, but it's good to have those people that are going to push you a little bit further, show you things that are possible that you thought might not be possible, whether that's picking up heavy weights or whether that's, expanding in a school program. Those things, mindset and body too, that's going to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, it all blends together. Everything, all aspects blend together. And I don't know about y'all, but when I'm not doing, for example, the workout, everything else goes to hell.
Yeah.
I start eating more of the wrong stuff. Okay. I start hitting the wine a little bit more heavier. Everything sort of revolves around that. And I've known that my whole life, that if I don't go and force myself into the first 15, 20 minutes, which then gets me to the next 15, 20 minutes, then everything goes to hell. And, so I know that about me.
Well, I think that sense of achievement, even on a micro level, like I just did one rep, that sense of achievement builds up, and, things like self-worth are there, they're solid, but it's really a lifestyle, a lifetime practice, right? To sort of maintain that sense of self-worth. So I think lifting the weights and doing the workouts and having those little micro achievements helps to keep your confidence and your self-worth really bolstered, so that it's not a question whether you're going to eat, in a way that's going to nourish you today, because you want to continue to feel good and like you're accomplishing something.
That's right. Let's face it, you really feel good after the workout.
Yeah.
You do start to feel better and better and better as you're going through it, but when you're finished, boy, mentally,
especially if you really didn't want to work out that day.
Now you made a really good point about just getting there. Once you get there, that's why some people, I think, probably need a partner. I've never needed a partner to influence
because we're
me
done that. We have built-in partners.
Yeah. But I can understand why some people really do need that to keep them on track.
I'm one of those people. I mean, if I didn't have you telling me do this, I probably would not. And I think as you were talking too, I was thinking about some of my most strenuous days started with a workout at your studio, Emily. Even if it was a day when I would be like, oh my gosh, Emily, I've got 8 hours of, flipping a house today. It's going to go from 0 to 10 after this workout. And I could just carry like the immense weight of the world in that moment, but I make it to the gym. I pick up some heavy things that I think is impossible and I put it back down. And then the rest of the day goes about the same way. It's picking up the heavy work and putting it back down.
Feel like I've already done this.
Yeah. So what did you say? The micro, what was
micro achievements? I don't know.
Micro achievements. Yeah. So there's like micro achievements really do add up. And to that point, it's nice to have that, be the thing that sets a tone of your day. Makes anything that you need to overcome a little less scary.
Yeah. Well, it's an amazing confidence boost for you. You accomplished that, and therefore you really take it into the next situation, the next transaction, or whatever. You take that in because you did that, and you also know that some other people have not done that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. You're more disciplined, and you're better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're really onto something here, talking about, keeping that inner joy and enthusiasm, and letting that extend into how we care for ourselves, nourish our mind and our bodies and our spirits, and then extending that further into our spaces, as we were talking about light, affecting our circadian rhythm, affecting so much of our little like house plantedness of existence. Really important ingredients to being able to sustain our energy and carry us through some of these wild things that we accomplish.
Yeah.
Well, guys, is there anything that you feel that we left out in sharing with our listeners today? I feel like we could talk about this and there needs to be a part 2. But is there any last tip or insight or something that we didn't drive home enough that we can share? No?
I'm not sure that I have one for you right off the bat, but Emily, you got something?
I mean, I think you nailed it. We in Iron Yogi Fitness already have our daily non-negotiables, which are breathe, ground, and get sunlight. Obviously, the strength training, I think. And so takeaway would be just get back to the basics, when you're trying to problem solve issues with mind, body, or business. Get back to the basics first. Make sure those are taken care of. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself. And that fountain of youth that we all seek can be sparked no matter how old.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, what age is really our mindset to a great degree. And I'm thinking too, Steve, both of us coming from Feng Shui as well, to be really mindful of the environment in which you're spending most of your time. And if it's not desirable and you start to feel stuck or stagnant, take it outside or bring nature more inside. Look for ways that you can allow in more light. I know we don't have the ability to knock down a wall and put in a window, but bring in some houseplants and bring in some things to reflect the light throughout the environment. And
get you a Maya Tapa red light to count that excess blue light you set off times and things like that. Yeah.
Are you familiar with those, Steve?
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah. Share a little bit about it. We need to have yours turned on next time. I know you were messing with electronics, but
I was.
Share a little bit about the use of it within your gym environment.
Well, mostly I just use it here in a group setting for kind of like ambiance, especially if it's stormy outside, which it is a lot in the late Florida summer, right? But as you were saying, the room here has a ton of windows along 2 walls, so it kind of takes on the outside environment. And if it's really gray or really dark, especially in the morning, it's a good thing to have that red light on to kind of help counter that gloominess. And it's also good on a one-on-one up close usage for all kinds of different things. It's very anti-inflammatory. It helps the mitochondria of the cells produce ATP better. All the benefits there. Helps with sleep and mood and pain. And I call it my healthcare hot sauce because I put that shit on everything. If you can think of it, probably put the red light in front of it for a little bit and it'll help.
Yeah. Whatever ailment you have and you come in, she says, put the red light on it. Take 15 minutes. But that light it can shift and elevate your mood to a great degree and help restore that focus and attention within the workout environment, and even to the point of yoga, more meditative or contemplative state, depending on what you're working on. But yeah, these are all really cool ingredients. I hope that we brought some insights and some ideas to people who are listening today and looking for more ways to achieve that youthfulness in their lives, and really shake things up. There's so many people out there that feel that every day is the same day, and they're feeling stuck and they're feeling stagnant. And so hopefully we've reached someone out there.
Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being with you two lovely ladies, and thank you very much for having me aboard. I'm sure Michelle would be a better replacement for me, but still.
Wait, you're not Michelle? What the heck?
Oh, thanks for hanging out with us, Steve.
No, I enjoyed it very much. It was great to see you again, Emily.
Yeah, you too.
It's a great honor. And Steve, where can people find you the easiest these days if they want to connect with you?
The county jail. No, are you talking about my email?
Yeah, you can if you want to share your website or your email, and we can drop the link in the description for everybody. And if you don't want to be contacted, then we'll omit this part.
Well, if you want to contact me, the best place is always to go to Intrinsic School of Feng Shui. That is definitely the website that I promote the most, and it's been a great honor to have Lisa with me working on that school, and we're working real hard for our next class, and hopefully, it's going to be a real strong one. But yeah, just go to our website, and you'll find a way of contacting us there.
I think your phone number is even the one that we published on the website. So
you shouldn't have said that. I don't know about you, but I don't answer my phone an awful lot anymore. There's just so much spam out there. So
it's true. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Give Steve a message. If you really want to talk to Steve.
What was that?
But leave Steve a message if you really want to talk to Steve.
I put that on a PDF today. And I have my phone number there, and it says, just leave your name and your number and we'll get back to you. Because I don't want to pick up unless I know who it is at this point. Because it seems like somebody always wants money or something from me.
They want to sell you an extended warranty on your car.
Yeah, there you go. Jeez.
Boy, these are the days, right, guys?
They are.
Well, it's been so much fun hanging out with you. And I know I'll talk to you both in 5 minutes and continue this conversation probably as we get back into our collaborations together.
Yeah.
And so great to create with both of you. And thank you to all the listeners for listening to us and spending time with me and Emily. We all miss Michelle. And thank you again, Steve, for being with us. So that's about it. Yeah. Anything else, Em?
Good.
Gotcha. All right. Talk to you all soon. See you in 5 minutes.
Guys.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate,
review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.